Welcome to Just Listen, as we take a look, or actually take a listen, at a new album by Tord Gustavsen called Opening. Released on April 8, 2022 by ECM label, the album has been eagerly anticipated by fans across the world. Gustavsen's style of meditative, melancholy composition is still present, but there is not that much variation compared to the previous albums. The elegant opening track, Circle, is very reminiscent of several of his previous compositions. For my taste, there are too many similarities. Unfortunately, it brings out a shallow feeling, as you can almost predict in which direction music is going, even on the first listen. Well, that is how I experienced it. After having a dozen or so listens to the album, I love the beauty of Gustavsen's piano playing and will be certainly going back to listen to several tracks from this album. But I prefer his earlier work with the trio. Albums like The Ground and Being There, Changing Places, Restored, Returned, The Other Side. They are all very dear to me and I listen to them often. But as you can see, there are many of them already. And I think I'm not alone at expecting the new album by Tord Gustavsen to be somewhat different. We're expecting for him to evolve, to change the same formula that has been used too often. Well, although it is not the case, there are several tracks worth mentioning. Music on the album heavily relies on percussion, most prominently cymbals. Sometimes it's too much, clouding the melody, but when it is tastefully supporting solo piano, like in the title track, Opening, it is a captivating experience. Gustavsen's bachelor degree and interest in psychology shows in his compositions, which are often reflective pieces that force us to contemplate the feelings that are most recent to us. Tord Gustavsen's style is so recognizable by now that it's a double-edged sword. The rhythm rarely changes in the compositions on this album, but things get better in the second half of the album. From the old mold, Gustavsen is still able to extract some beautiful melodies, and you can feel warmly embraced by the trio sound, like in the composition Stream. It has all the recognizable Tord Gustavsen clues, but still it is an inviting and atmospheric tune that slows the world around you, a very pleasant and comforting feeling. As he started playing the piano at the age of 4, Norwegian Tord Gustavsen was improvising and composing even before he learned to read the music. Gustavsen's 2003 recording debut with his trio Changing Places was ECM's most successful debut in a decade. Let's continue on the last album, Opening. Somewhat breaking away from the trademark melancholy is the next composition, Ritual. The atmosphere is enhanced by wailing bass, which often sounds very much like electric guitar. It sounds new and fresh, experimental but with good measure. I have seen several reviews which celebrate the album and are completely positive. But I wonder how much those reviewers are acquainted with Gustavsen's earlier work. Being his 9th album as a leader, Gustavsen is not a newcomer in need of cutting slack. He single-handedly created a style of his own 10 or so years ago, and his place in jazz history is forever secured. I just wish he would be more fearless from now on. He possesses the skill both as a pianist and as a composer. Breaking new ground is how great art always changed the world, and us, the people along its path. For now, for me, earlier mentioned previous albums are still the pinnacle of Gustavsen artistry. A link to SONGWHIP will take you directly to this album on major streaming platforms. Thank you for watching, as always.